Today is 2025-10-13, and our world is filled with wonders that would have seemed like pure magic to our ancestors. We hold devices that connect us to a global network of information. We send probes to the farthest reaches of our solar system, and we are now on the verge of linking the human brain directly to computers. This incredible pace of innovation often makes us feel like we are on an unstoppable upward trajectory. We imagine ourselves on a grand staircase, climbing ever higher, leaving the past far below us. Each new invention feels like a definitive step forward, a permanent gain in our collective human capability. Yet, a different, more ancient feeling sometimes surfaces, a whisper of skepticism that questions this simple narrative of linear progress. We look at the enigmatic ruins of past civilizations, like the intricate mechanisms of the Antikythera device, the precise astronomy of ancient observatories, and we wonder, did they know things that we have forgotten? Is history less like a ladder and more like a great wheel, turning through repeating cycles of advancement and decline? This perspective suggests that we are not always moving forward, but perhaps rediscovering truths and technologies that have been lost to the sands of time. Let's first break down the idea of cyclical history. Cyclical history: human societies follow predictable patterns. Growth, maturity, eventual decay. Civilizations rise. They achieve great things. They invent remarkable tools. Then they fall. Through war, disaster, internal collapse. Their knowledge is often scattered or lost. Later societies painstakingly rediscover it, thinking they're the first. This view brings mystery and humility. We're not as unique as we think. We may repeat the triumphs and mistakes of forgotten ancestors. Stories of lost cities like Atlantis. Fragmentation of knowledge after Rome's fall. For centuries, complex engineering and philosophical ideas were lost in much of Europe. They were reintroduced later. Our modern technological boom could be just one peak in a long series of peaks and valleys. It cautions that achievements aren't guaranteed to last forever. Foundations of society may be more fragile than they appear. It's a somber but compelling view of human endeavor. On the other hand, the cumulative view of progress, likened to building a ladder or building a tower. Every discovery, even small, adds a permanent layer to human knowledge. Isaac Newton famously said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." That captures cumulative progress. The printing press didn't appear out of nowhere. It built on paper, ink, movable type. A smartphone depends on centuries of discoveries in physics, chemistry, metallurgy, information theory. To understand where brain-computer interfaces fit into these historical models, we must first understand what they are in simple terms. A BCI is a system that creates a direct communication link between the living brain and an external device such as a computer or a robotic limb. Think of it as a translator. Your brain is constantly generating tiny electrical signals as you think, feel, and intend to move. A BCI is designed to listen to these signals, decode their meaning, and convert them into commands a machine can execute. It sounds like science fiction, but it's grounded in neuroscience. When you decide to move your hand, neurons in the motor cortex fire in a predictable pattern. BCIs can use sensors placed on the scalp or implanted in the brain for higher precision to detect those patterns. Sophisticated software, often using AI, analyzes signals in real time. It learns to link a brain pattern to an intention, for example. Move the cursor up or close a robotic hand. That lets thought become action without muscles. Current BCIs do not read minds or access memories and emotions. They detect clear, intention-based, mostly motor signals. Users must consciously train the system to generate recognizable patterns. It's a collaborative partnership between human and technology. The most immediate and profound application of brain-computer interfaces lies in their power to restore. For individuals who have lost the ability to move or speak due to paralysis, stroke, neurodegenerative diseases like ALS, a BCI can be a life-altering tool. It offers a way to bridge the gap between a healthy, active mind and a body that can no longer carry out its commands. The technology isn't about enhancement here. It's about returning autonomy and the ability to interact with the world. It is a tool of reconnection. Imagine a person who has been locked in for years, unable to communicate with their loved ones. A BCI connected to a speech synthesizer could translate intended words directly from the brain into audible speech. Others might use a BCI to control a cursor to type emails, browse the internet, or operate smart home devices, regaining independence. These are not futuristic fantasies. They are realities in labs and clinical trials today, giving real hope to families. BCIs act like a neural bypass. They reroute the brain's commands around damaged parts of the nervous system, creating an alternate pathway for expression and action. The self wasn't gone. It was trapped. The BCI provides a key, letting the individual's will again affect the world. This enables reclaiming agency and re-engaging with life, reducing reliance on others. From this view, BCIs echo a cycle of loss and rediscovery in a person's life. A person loses a function, and technology helps them find it again. Beyond their restorative function, brain-computer interfaces open up a much more complex and philosophically charged conversation about expanding human capabilities. Beyond restoration, clinical scenes show BCIs helping patients regain movement. If a BCI can control a robotic arm for someone with paralysis, could it also allow an able-bodied person to control a third arm? Could it allow a fourth arm? If it can translate thoughts into text, could it one day allow for direct, mind-to-mind communication, bypassing the ambiguities of language? This is where the technology moves from being a tool of restoration to one of augmentation, potentially changing our very definition of what it means to be human. This potential for enhancement forces us to confront difficult questions about identity. When your thoughts can directly manipulate the digital world or a physical machine, where does your self end and the tool begin? The line becomes increasingly blurred. This integration of mind and machine could lead to a new form of embodied cognition, where our thinking process is not confined to our skull, but extends into the devices we are connected to. This could unlock incredible new potentials for creativity, problem-solving, and learning, but it also challenges our traditional notions of individuality and the sanctity of the private mind. Some futurists see this as the next logical step in human evolution, not biological but technological. They envision a future where BCIs allow us to merge our consciousness with artificial intelligence, creating a hybrid intelligence far greater than its biological or silicon parts. In this view, BCIs are the ultimate rung on the ladder of progress, lifting humanity into a new state of being. It's a vision of transcendence, where we overcome the limitations of our biology not by restoring it, but by surpassing it entirely. However, this vision also carries significant risks and ethical dilemmas. Would such enhancements be available to everyone, or would they create a new, profound form of inequality between the enhanced and the unenhanced? What happens to our sense of self if our thoughts and mental processes are intertwined with external systems that could be hacked, controlled, or commercialized? These questions suggest that as we use these tools to expand our sense of self, we may also be opening ourselves up to new vulnerabilities and perhaps losing a part of what we currently value as our core humanity. A fascinating and practical example of how BCIs are evolving can be seen in the development of AI copilots. In early BCI systems, the user had to do all the work concentrating intensely to generate precise neural signals. This was often slow, frustrating, and mentally exhausting. To address this, researchers have begun integrating artificial intelligence, creating a more seamless partnership between the user and the machine. This concept is often referred to as shared autonomy. The AI copilot works by learning the user's intentions, then helping achieve the desired outcome more efficiently. It anticipates the goal and guides the cursor, subtly correcting trajectory. It doesn't take over completely. It acts as an intelligent assistant, amplifying the user's effort. The technology itself, advanced AI algorithms, sensitive neural sensors, is clearly a product of cumulative, ladder-like progress. We could not have built this a decade ago. It stands on the shoulders of giants: machine learning, neuroscience. Incremental improvements in control speed accuracy prove the power of building knowledge upon knowledge. Yet shared autonomy echoes an ancient cycle of human behavior. From the moment humans first domesticated animals to help plow fields to a modern pilot relying on an autopilot system in an airplane, We have always sought partnerships with tools and other intelligences to augment our abilities. The AI co-pilot is the most intimate version of this partnership yet. It is the latest expression of a timeless human desire to offload cognitive burdens and collaborate with non-human agents. The tool is new, the impulse is ancient. As we stand in 2025 and look at the burgeoning field of brain-computer interfaces, it becomes clear that the simple dichotomy between cyclical history and cumulative progress may not be sufficient. BCIs are not just one or the other. They are profoundly both. They are born from a long, unbroken ladder of scientific discovery, a testament to our ability to build knowledge layer by layer. The physics, the biology, the computer science, all of it is a product of cumulative effort. Without this ladder, the very concept of a BCI would remain firmly in the realm of fantasy. Yet, in their application and their purpose, BCIs resonate with the deep, cyclical rhythms of the human story. They are used to restore what was lost, an act of mending that humans have practiced since the dawn of time. They are envisioned as tools to extend our reach and overcome our limitations, a desire that has driven the creation of every tool, the first stone axe, the modern spacecraft. In this sense, BCIs are a form of rediscovery, not of a lost technology, but of our own timeless aspirations, now made manifest in a powerful new form. The technology pushes us forward into uncharted territory, forcing us to confront new philosophical questions about our identity and what it means to be human. The integration of mind and machine may very well represent a new step in our cultural, if not biological, evolution. However, this step is driven by the same fundamental urges: connection, expression, transcendence. We are climbing a new rung on the ladder, but we may find that the view from up there shows us a landscape of desires that is remarkably familiar. Ultimately, BCIs challenge us to see our technological journey not as a straight line or a closed circle, but perhaps as a spiral. We continuously loop back to the same fundamental human questions and needs, but each time we return, we do so at a higher level of technological capability, with new tools and new perspectives. We are always rediscovering ourselves, but we are never in the same place twice. This leaves us with a profound and pressing question as we design these intimate technologies. If our tools inevitably shape who we are, what kind of selves are we intentionally choosing to become? Before we close, heartfelt thanks to Thunderbird Perch for making this video possible. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. Think about it. A new world awaits.